Good afternoon, Dr. Sarkar. And to all the members, participants who have joined today. I just introduced Dr. Sarkar, who is not only an academician in some respect, but also an industry person. And his profile, if I go through his profile, I find it is a unique mix of academics and industry, a perfect mix as we call it. Dr. Sarkar is a PhD in business management from University of Calcutta. I am also from University of Calcutta, PhD from Calcutta University. Dr. Sarkar, for your information anyway. Second is, he is an MBA from Faculty of Management Studies. Yes, please.
You did your PhD under Yogi sir, right? Aravindo Bhattacharya sir?
No, I did my PhD under Dr. Sitanath Majumdar.
Sitanath Majumdar. I had met you in St. Xavier's last when I was
yes.
there.
Yes. We met. Yes.
You know my guide very well.
Yeah. The world is very small, you know. It's a real very small world that way. Okay, and Dr. Sarkar is also an MBA from Faculty of Management Studies, University of Delhi, and before that he did his engineering in computer science from BIT Mesra. And his professional career started with Wipro, where he worked as a systems engineer, module leader for 1 year from July 2000 to 2001, next year, 2000 June. And after that, he joined MBA. After MBA, he joined Coca-Cola India Private Limited in 2003. Till 2006, he was with Coca-Cola, where he held the roles of marketing manager for 2 years and area sales manager for 1 year. After that, he worked as a regional sales manager with Nokia India Private Limited, again a big name, and that was from August 2006 to May 2009. Currently, he is working as a director PepsiCo for Eastern region and exports Nepal and Bhutan. Dr. Sarkar is a member of the President's Ring of Honor in PepsiCo, a group of globally selected, highly potential and high performance leaders within PepsiCo International. This is from the industry part. From the academics part, Dr. Sarkar as a researcher has published papers in various multiple high impact journals like Journal of Rural Studies, Journal of Retail and Consumer Services, Vikalpa, Vision, Academy of Marketing Services, Sciences Review, Translational Corporations Review, Journal of Rural Society, Journal of Social and Cultural History, Dilaction, Journal of Social and Economic Development, Global Journal of Emerging Market Economies, etc. And he has authored more than 50 papers, which is there. Dr. Sarkar already serves as a guest faculty in different big schools also as well. Our dear Dr. D N Sir is there also. He is there. He's not very well, but he's still there. Is there. So I think I have introduced you all, Dr. Sarkar, and I think we should say that we should start the session. Sir, will you say something?
Pinakida, a bit about Calcutta Business School?
Yeah, of course. That I'll say. Of course, that is there. But if Sir is there, I asked her whether he could say something or not.
Yeah, I will. You tell about CBS and I will say a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Calcutta Business School is there since 2008, and the campus is located just before Amtola. It's a 15 acres wide sprawling campus, lush green campus, Wi-Fi enabled, and we have, as on date, almost around 120 students. There are faculty members who are there. It is a very well enriched campus with students having interest in academics, as well as students have other issues also as well, like sports and other factors which they carry on along with them. So many different extracurricular activities also are being performed by the students, apart from academics also. So I think this is what, in short, in fact, of course, the most important point is Calcutta Business School is a part of Shikshakan Foundation, and Mr. S.K. Villa is the chairman of this entire group. So I think I would request our Janam sir to just say a few words, and then
Yeah, I think that was a very formal introduction. But to students, I want to tell that, we want to look for a role model, and you can see how young he is and yet he's achieved so much. So I think today all of you, all the 100 of you are attending, you can decide to make him your role model. And I had the fortune of knowing him for more than 10 years. One is a luck, but the other thing he told me was that how well he had planned his career. That he said that instead of going into marketing and fighting with everyone, he said that sales has its own glamour, and he has taken the sales route, from the assistant sales manager, and director sales, and he's the president's award also. It's a global thing, right? So that's a huge award. It's not an award in India. It's a cardiac. Someone's voice is.
Please mute all the
Yeah.
participants. Yes.
So students, I want to tell that one thing that we will have to learn from him, that how to do well in your career. The other thing, Dr. Sarkar, I want you to tell them as explicitly as possible. The boys and girls, I don't know, when they get into an MBA course, MBA was a very, very creme de la creme kind of course 25 years back. But today, the mushroom growth of colleges, I don't think MBA is anyway a creme de la creme. So I don't know why students are very much afraid to go to sales. But I can tell you, Dr. Sarkar, when I was 23, I was also afraid to go to sales. But today I feel that's the best thing to do is to sales and business development. So Dr. Sarkar, we want your wisdom because you will be able to give much more practical examples rather than a professor speaking. So you please tell us your career journey, how you planned it, and the message to the youngsters not to be afraid of taking targets, because you cannot escape targets. So that is my request to you, that if you could do that.
So thank you, JNM sir. Thank you, Pinaki sir. I know actually both of you for a long time. So Pinaki has done his PhD under my academic grandfather, kind of. So my own guide has studied under the same person with whom Pinaki sir has, and I know him very well. So I keep visiting him even now because he is a neighbor. And I have written papers with Sitanath sir after I completed my PhD. Yes. So with that, and I really thank CBS for inviting me, and for JNM sir for inviting me, and wherever JNM sir goes, he definitely invites me. So with that, I will project my screen and start with my presentation. And, yes,
Sarkar, one more small thing, I'm not very well today, so I may not be able to stay through the whole presentation.
No problem.
But at the beginning only, I'm inviting you that, our PGDM office will get in touch with you to take a course on sales and marketing. It could be either a 15-hour course or a 30-hour course. Now, because of online, so wherever you are, you can take in the, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the night, what time suits you. So that is a standing invitation I'm giving you right at the beginning. Because if my health does not permit, I might like to take some rest. So I might, right? And on behalf of CBS, on behalf of the entire faculty of CBS, students of CBS, I want to extend a warm welcome to you.
Yeah, Dr. Sarkar, please carry on. Please, yeah. Sarkar, yeah, please carry on. Dr. Sarkar, are you there? Dr. Sarkar?
Sorry, I got missed out. I forgot to switch off my emails, and that's why it's replicating. So yes, sorry, you were saying 15-hour course. I would be
a 15 or 30-hour course. Our PGDM office will get in touch with you. That is like a compulsory demand from our side, and that can be online nowadays. So our students will greatly benefit, So that's a request. And I thought of again extending a very warm welcome on behalf of CBS, the faculty and students of CBS. Now, kindly continue.
So I will begin with a story, and of course, I have a few slides to show all of you, but I'll begin with a small story, and I like storytelling. So bear with me and just enjoy the story and enjoy the slides. I'm sorry for postponing the session once. My CEO suddenly called for a board meeting. Took a little bit of more time because of that. So, but I'll make it up to you by delivering something which you will enjoy. So here it is basically my presentation, and I will begin with a story. So the story goes somewhere like this. So there was a monk, there was a village at the top of a hill, and there are many such villages in the Himalayan ranges even today. So a village called Sandakphu is something like that. It doesn't have a road to it. It is a very insular society. So people basically do what they do within the village, and this village was something like that. So there were small hutments. People used to do some very small handicraft work, and used to they had a solitary donkey amongst themselves. So the village had only one donkey. So they would load everything onto the donkey, trudge down the hill path down to the nearest town, sell all those wares, the handicrafts, buy some basic necessities, and go back to the village, and that's how they used to live. One day a monk went to the village along with his disciple, and of course the villagers were very nice. They treated him very well, made him feel at home. So for next 7 days, the monk enjoyed the hospitality of the village, and the villagers would go without food to feed the monk and his disciple. And the monk could see the poverty in which the village lived. And the monk also noticed that the donkey is the source of sustenance. So the donkey goes down and goes up to bring back stocks. So after 7 days, in the evening, after the dinner, the monk told his disciple, tonight we will get up without informing anyone, and we will just move out of the village. We'll move out of the village and will not tell anyone. So at night, the monk woke up the disciple. They started slinking out of the village, and nobody could know. And when he just went to the border of the village, he told his disciple, go and get that donkey from the place where the villagers keep it, in that small hut, bring it out, take it to the edge of the cliff and throw it down. So the disciple was shocked that and told the monk, these are the guys who have made us feel at home. They have not eaten themselves to feed us, and you are throwing their only source of sustenance, the donkey, over the cliff. That's not right, sir. But he said, you are my disciple. You have no right to question till you graduate. You do as I say. So the disciple went, took out the donkey, took it to the edge of the cliff, threw it down. And the donkey, of course, died instantly. And the monk and the disciple went down the hill, went back to their monastery, and lived normally for the next 2 years. In the next 2 years, the disciple passed out and cleared, and basically he was himself a monk. So then he went to his monk, his guru, and asked, now that I have cleared, I am no longer your disciple, I demand to know why you killed that donkey. So the monk told him, go back to the village and check it out. You will get your answer. The monk went back to the village. The disciple, who was now a monk, went back to the village and saw that there was a pakka road, a proper motorable road going up to the village now from the foothills. He went to the village and saw there were pakka houses and there seems to be basically better affluence, maybe not richness, but they were better off. And he could even see some motorized vehicles, etc. in the village. There was a small village school. So he was very surprised, and then he knew what his monk went on to do. So when you take away the basic, and what the villagers had done was, because their basic source of sustenance was taken away, they started working harder. They did other things. So they basically said, now that we don't have a donkey, we have to build a better road to the place down the village. We have to basically do something else. And they started having other professions. Some people started going down the hill and working elsewhere and sending money home. Some people started having a little larger scale of handicraft manufacture and started trading in that. And that was the story. So the story was, when you remove these basic, जिसको हम लोग crutches बोलते हैं, when you remove the crutches from your life, you shine in your career, you will shine. So, and that is the story of my life. I began my career in marketing, and what happened was, after 1 year I realized I am fighting with too many people. So every Tom, Dick, Harry who passes out from an IIM or an FMS or XLRI or the next 20 colleges for that matter, they want to be in marketing. I cannot keep fighting like this. I need to remove this crutch of having a comfortable life and let me work harder for a few years. Because if I do that, I will create a niche for myself. And after 1 year, I requested and shifted to sales. Very few people do that. I was the associate brand manager of Thumbs Up. So it is a big deal. And sometime later on in one of the sessions, I will take a course on, say, how to build an advertisement, how to position a brand, and brand image and brand identity. So I still know all those, but I shifted to sales. And I am very, very happy, because very few good MBAs are there in sales today. And if you are an MBA and if you are in sales, you have your career made, because there are very few. Sales is as much of an art, as much of a science as marketing. So it is not an art at all. Some people think, mujhe bechna hai. I have never sold anything. I have to only manage the channel and the people down the line. I have to, of course, discuss with my distributors, etc. sometimes. But of course, I am very senior now. But even in my first role as area sales manager, I had to discuss with my distributors or my sales officers. I never had to go and sell outlet to outlet, though of course, as part of training, I did that also. So for a couple of months, I went outlet to outlet and sold, because, and of course, if a product is not worth selling, it will not be there in the market. So if there is a product, it definitely sells. So there is no risk in it. That's what I want to begin with. And so the first slide. And the first thing which I wanted to tell all of you is, you have already made a decision. And that decision is to break free from shackles of mediocre life, because you are doing an MBA. You are not doing a master in commerce, or you are not doing a chartered accountancy or a cost accountancy, where you will have a career, but you will have a slow career. If you are trying to do a master of business administration, or even a PGDBM or anything of that sort, you have made a decision that you want to have that air-conditioned room and that luxurious lifestyle. You don't want to travel in an auto rickshaw. You don't want to travel in that bus. You don't want to travel even in that Alto. You want to travel in a good SUV at the least, or a luxury sedan, and that's why you are an MBA. After MBA, you also have a choice to get into academics. But then there is no money, that you won't have money of that level in academics. So the fact that you are doing an MBA means you want to be a Sachin Tendulkar and not a coach. And to be a Sachin Tendulkar, you have to go through a little bit of harsh beginnings. So you have already taken that decision. You have taken a decision to have one success for every 3 to 4 failures. And when I say this, all of these, I beg my forgiveness from all the faculty members here. I am also a faculty member. But I do believe that initial couple of years will be hard. But that hard life will give you the comforts which you deserve. That Mercedes which you deserve, that SUV which you deserve. So a decision to have one success for every 3 or 4 failures. Management is a gray science. It is not a black and white science like an engineering. So if you get one success out of every 4 attempts, you are a successful manager. No manager can say that I am always successful. Will never be. A social science is an imperfect science. A management is an imperfect science. You will read hundreds of leadership books. Everything will say different things. So you will have to develop your leadership style, but expect only one success for every 3 or 4 failures. So out of every 4 attempts, one success is good enough. So don't get jittery about failures. That's the fundamental thing. If you want to basically appoint a distributor, 3 people will say, no, I don't want to be your distributor. It doesn't matter. But that one person where you will succeed, वो मिठाई मंगवा के भी खिलाएगा और वो चाय भी पिलाएगा. So that is what basically a sales job is. Even in marketing, not all advertisement will be successful. If you go to marketing, you will have 3 absolute, get into a role which will be grounded, which will teach you. And then you can go to those higher levels. So I will tell you another story, and this is a story of two sections. In US, there was a very interesting research which happened in one of the schools. So there were two sections, A section and B section. I'm sure many of you studied in such a school where there are couple of sections. A section had all the good people, all the good students in it. Section B had the poorer students in it. Section A was told, and the experiment was, the section A was told again and again that they are born intelligent. They do not have to study hard. They are born intelligent. They can achieve anything they want because they are intelligent. Section B was told, you have very little intelligence, but through hard work you can achieve wonders. Please keep doing hard work. And everything about the next 6 months, be it the way the teachers taught them, be it the way the teachers basically reinforced the beliefs, was based on this. One was intelligent, the other was hard work. Other section was hard work. After 6 months, the result came. And lo and behold, the ones who were basically told that they can only work hard, they are not intelligent, beat the intelligent people. So with hard work, anyone can beat anyone else. So that's what basically this research proved. So there's not much in intelligence. If you are intelligent and you don't work hard, you don't get to too much. So that's what basically the story is about. Give me a second. So this,
are you not well or what? Devran?
yeah, a little throat issue.
Okay.
So season change ka. So
Okay.
that is the story of the two sections. So a hard work, initial hard work is very, very necessary. So I'm just wanting to mold all you young minds into feeling this, that don't choose something which will give you an interesting and comfortable job at the very beginning. Something like an HR consultancy where you sit and just look at hundreds of CVs and keep calling people. Remember, everything is sales. When you are calling people for in a job recruitment firm also, you are selling. You are selling that job profile to that person. When you are selling a CV to an organization, ki ye CV aap le lo, you are again selling that CV to the organization. So everything is fundamentally sales. I believe that sales and distribution is more scientific because we don't have to sell ourselves. There is a channel which sells. So that is what I was saying. And a story was, I had called this famous doctor, oncosurgeon Dr. Vikas Agarwal of Apollo Gleneagles. I had called him to deliver a lecture at my factory on health hazards, because we deal with a lot of chemicals, etc., and we have to be very careful on health hazards, etc. So, and he said, he began with this. He first showed a glass which was half full, and he asked, do you see a glass half full or half empty? And this is a classic question. So some people said half full, which showed that they are optimists, and some people said half empty, they are pessimists. He said, I would say the glass is full, completely full, because both water and air, which you see in the glass, are important for life. And he gave this amazing comment which I really love. अगर नसीब की लकीरें हाथों में होती है, अगर नसीब की लकीरें हाथों में होती है, तो फिर उनका क्या जिनके हाथ ही नहीं होते. आखिरकार नसीब तो उनका भी होता है. So yeah, even people who are not born with luck, they have to make their own luck. So this is the time you have already made that tryst with destiny. And some of my famous, some of the slides which I use to show this. This showman was actually a very ugly duckling. Nobody thought he could go up on stage and become famous. And he, through his hard work, and before he became basically obsessed with his looks, etc., and had plastic surgery, he had become famous even before that. So he's Michael Jackson. He spent his entire childhood practicing his dance moves, and you know how well he danced and how well
Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Sorry,
It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's okay. I think there was a problem with the network, probably.
yes, yes. Sorry for that. Actually, my thing is optimized for Zoom. Anyway, so this showman was an ugly duckling, and Michael Jackson actually, despite his looks, became famous even before he did all the plastic surgery. In fact, after he did all those plastic surgery, etc., he was criticized a lot. So that was the beginning of his downfall. So I think his success was while he looked like this. This man, at 65 years of age, he was actually about to retire. And at 65 years of age, he basically was bankrupt, did not have any money. He had two choices. He could either retire. Just hold on a second. Let me do some. Sorry. So one old man, this person basically was retired and he was bankrupt. So he had two choices. He could either check into a poorhouse, and US government used to run a lot of poorhouses, still does, or he could start life anew. So at 65 years of age, he said, I will start life anew. And he took out his mother's recipe of something, I will tell you what, something. And he made that recipe. He started going from bakery to bakery, starting trying to sell that stock. He couldn't sell it the first day, and he said, let me leave it with one of the bakery shops. And he told the bakery that once you sell it off, give me the money. If you don't sell it off, it is yours, you can throw it away. Next day he went to the baker and bakery shop, and of course basically he said, everything sold off, can you cook double of what you gave me yesterday? And he was very successful. He started selling, expanding, selling to more bakery chains, and end to end he made his own shop. He built his own shop, started selling from there. By the age of 75, in 10 years, he was one of the richest men in America and possibly the world. And he is Colonel Saunders. And I'm sure everyone of you have had a Kentucky Fried Chicken. So he is the founder of Kentucky Fried Chicken at 65 years of age. And this is applicable to, and if you think you are too old to learn new tricks, you are not. If a person 65 years age can learn new tricks, can be a salesman, everyone can at least. So this is one of them. Another story of the same type. In 1954, a 52-year-old milkshake machine salesman, and he was a salesman of milkshake machines, was about to retire. His company was telling him that you are now too old to be a salesman. You have to retire now. So while selling, he came across a small hamburger stand in San Bernardino, California, and which was going bankrupt, and the brothers were going bankrupt. So he bought that bankrupt shop, and started operating that because he needed a retirement plan. So this was his retirement plan. Believe it or not, the shop which he had bought was called McDonald's. He bought it from McDonald brothers. He built an amazing chain out of McDonald's. And at 52 years of age, he began building an empire which made him again the richest man in America. So this is Ray Kroc for you. When you are on a stage, always see whether you are laughing at, laugh at yourself. Don't worry. This is Salman Khan, the left-hand image. This is basically Govinda. This is, of course, Udita Goswami, who never smiled or never laughed. So would you want to be somebody who basically make people laugh with you when you are there on stage? Don't have any fear of the stage. Be very bold. Don't have any fear on the stage. Learn public speaking. To be a leader of men, you have to learn public speaking. And this is why your professors would often ask you to come on stage and present. That is to teach you public speaking. If you are unable to speak before your fellow classmates, believe me, you will never be able to speak. So you have to go up there on stage. Even if you are embarrassed, don't be embarrassed. It doesn't matter. You are the one who is learning. Even if a few students or your classmates laugh at you, smile, pass comments, don't worry. You are the one who is learning. They are not learning anything by smiling. I still remember when I was in FMS, and I am from Bihar, so I am not that good in English, and you can make it out. But I made it a point that I will always volunteer to represent my team in FMS Delhi or in Build Astro Technology because I wanted to learn public speaking. I read this book, Art of Public Speaking. It's freely available on internet, or if you want to buy, it's $80 only. It's an amazing book. Don't go in for any of the newer books. This is a very, very old, 120-year-old book, still works. And amazingly, this helped me. So learn that. Always volunteer that I will be representing my team, because it doesn't matter whether you save on a little bit of your work today कि मैंने अपने टीम के किसी और को बना दिया और उसको खड़ा कर दिया, वो speak कर रहा है. You have to speak because you have to learn. If a colleague learns, then he is the one who is the winner. You are not. So when your professor gives you a project, go on stage and speak. Another suggestion is, and this is also for professors, if any are still here, I'm unable to see, but always mix up groups. Don't let friends be in the same group, because when you are working in a corporation, you will not be choosing your own friends as your team members. You will be put in a team and you will be expected to work with them. So always randomize. A good Premier B school always randomizes and keeps changing the teams. So keep changing. Even if it doesn't, you should basically volunteer to work with newer members, because that will make you an extrovert. That will make you basically a good manager. If you feel that you are unable to do that, make it a habit. If you do something for enough number of times, that becomes the biggest skill of your life. A lie told 100 times becomes the biggest truth of your life. So if you keep telling yourself, I am an extrovert, I will do everything that an extrovert does, and you keep doing that, after 100 attempts or after 100 instances, you will be that extrovert. So be that. Leaders always volunteer. Always volunteer. So never say कि मेरा दोस्त को करने देते हैं. क्यों करने देंगे? I would make my colleagues' life hell in my or my classmates' life hell in my FMS by saying कि no, why will I concede? Then let's have a vote. Whoever wins the election or vote will be the one who will basically head this committee and that committee. So all Premier B schools has a lot of voting because nobody volunteers. Everyone volunteers. However, often I come across B schools where there are 3 people who are extroverts who volunteer, and often these are the people who have the girlfriends whom they want to impress by volunteering, but that is not the purpose. Even if you don't have to impress anyone, it is for yourself that you have to volunteer. So that is where you have to do this. So career is a test match and not 2020. Don't expect quick wins. It doesn't matter whether you start in a bike or a Hyundai Santro. Who drives a luxury sedan or a good SUV after 6 to 10 years is what matters more. And eagles always remain focused. Eagles have a strong vision which focuses up to 5 kilometers from the air. When eagles sight a prey, even a rodent from this distance, he narrows his focus on it and sets out to get it. So have your focus very clear. Go for that focus. Don't divert. These are the 2 formative years of your life. Treat it as such. Work very hard. Learn. Go into uncomfortable situations. Even if you don't wish to volunteer or wish to speak or wish to basically present that PPT. Even if your people do not cooperate with you, you have to build the PPT by yourself to present. Go ahead and do it. You are the one who is learning. The others won't be getting that job. Remember. अगर वो मिल भी गया तो टिकने वाला नहीं है. Some people are very soft. They will clear interviews, but after 6 months, managers can smell bullshit from a mile away. So they will guess that this person has not learned and he will not last in that job. whereas a person who has learned will last in the job. Expand your horizons of knowledge, read subsidiary books and newspapers. Always read a financial newspaper like Economic Times or Financial Times. Read the subsidiary books. So if you are studying operations, production and operation management, read this book called Goal by Goldratt, Eliyahu M. Goldratt. If you are reading marketing, always read Al Rice, Jack Trout, Marketing Warfare, Al Rice, Jack Trout's Focus, and many other books actually. I'm sure you have an amazing library. Access that, read Harvard Business Review, read The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell, and many, many other books. Ask your professors which books will add to your knowledge, because your book's knowledge is very definitional. These are more anecdotal knowledge. So it is not enough to read your books. Expand your horizons of knowledge and build your networks with an aim to gain. So have a LinkedIn, update it, have everything possible, but avoid writing stuff online which you will regret later, because the online stuff always remains. Even if you delete it, it will remain. So when nowadays, when you apply for a visa for US or job application for any good company, they do a psychographic profiling using your social media. And I may not get a report on how X and Y has, what X and Y has written. I will definitely get to know what X and Y is, even from WhatsApp. Because remember, that is what pays for all these WhatsApp, LinkedIn, etc. Not you. You have never paid anything for your WhatsApp. So be very careful what you write, how you, if you deride, for example, if you write negative things about your, say, alma mater, CBS, anytime, you might feel your professors are not seeing it, but in future, your future organizations will get a psychographic profiling saying backstabber. जिसका जिस थाली में खाता है उसी में छेद करता है. So you will not be recruited. So be very careful what you write. And when you have to basically do any of these, basically उसको क्या बोलते हैं, PNPC. Bengali we call it PNPC. If you want to do that, do it offline. Don't do it on LinkedIn. Don't do it on Facebook. In fact, I don't even have a Facebook account for that matter. But of course, I have a LinkedIn account. Eagle, steer clear of the outdated. Don't go in for rumors or outdated or old information. Be up to date. Read latest newspapers. Don't give into politicking or any kind of politics anywhere, be it in your college or be it in any organization. Because you might win with politics a couple of times and you will feel happy, but sooner or later people will realize that this person is a politician and you will not be liked at all. So this is the last slide. Today is the day of your rebirth and you have to change, and I will end with a video. So look at the video and I will basically play the video. Just I'll stop sharing and I will share the video. Let me open it first.
I'm there. Yes. Link is not opening.
No, it will open. I was trying to find the link. Share. Rebirth of an Eagle, and this is the, yeah. And
This is the story of an eagle. An eagle has the longest lifespan of its species. It can live up to 70 years.
But to
But
reach
to
this
reach this age, however,
the
the
eagle
eagle
must make some tough
decisions.
Its
Its
40th
40th year,
its
its
long,
long, flexible talons no longer grab prey,
which
which
serve
serve
as
as food.
its
Its
long,
long,
sharp
sharp
beak
beak
begins to
begins to
bend.
bend. Its old, aged, and heavy wings,
their thick
their thick
feathers,
feathers,
stick to
stick
their
to their
chest
chest
and make
and
it
make it
difficult
difficult
to
to
fly.
fly. Then the eagle is left with only two options: die
Or
or
go
go
through
through
the
the
painful
painful
process
process
of
of
change.
change.
The
The process requires that the eagle fly to the mountaintop
and sit
and
on
sit on its nest.
There,
There,
knocks
it knocks
its
its
beak
beak
against a rock until it plucks it out.
Then the eagle will wait for more than to grow before it plucks out the task. The eagle starts fluffing its thick, heavy feathers. And after this,
The
the eagle takes its famous flight of rebirth
and
and lives for another 30 years.
Why
Is the change needed? To survive and live. We too have.
So this was all from my side, and you are all in the stage of rebirth. An MBA, I truly believe, is a rebirth. You will see people coming from engineering backgrounds, from commerce backgrounds, from arts backgrounds, and every kind of background, and they come for this rebirth during these 2 years of management. And when you come out of management, you are a different person from what you were before MBA. If you remain the same person, then your rebirth is not complete, and sooner or later you will die in the melee of corporate warfare. And that is where all of you have to make that sacrifice, learn at this moment, and be entrepreneurial. And be as profitable as you can, because and that's why I always request professors to randomize all your teams and group activities, because you have to learn to work with different kinds of people. You will never be able to choose your friends as your colleagues in companies. So you have to work with whoever you are stuck with. And that is what this practice gives you. And leadership, volunteerism, all of this you have to learn. And of course, my personal favorite suggestion is, not advice, but suggestion is, choose a kind of career where you will have a niche. Don't choose a career where you are one among thousands.
Okay. Well, I have got some questions. I mean, the students have asked some questions. There are so many questions which have come here. The first question has been asked by Devrupa Mukherjee. She's a student who has got a background with hotel management and all. Okay. She has a question is, many of us and our relatives feel sales is not a fit career for MBAs. What are your views, please, sir?
Well, to be honest, most of MBAs in India today are in sales careers. So marketing, how many brands are there? There might be 800 brands. How many brand managers are required? Maybe even if there is 10,000 brands, say. How many MBAs are produced by just the IIMs? There are 20 IIMs, in case you do not remember. There are 20 IIMs, plus there are 10 other amazing colleges like FMS, XLRI, Jamnalal Bajaj, and you know what, producing MBAs. So around 15 to 16,000 premier B school MBAs are produced kind of every year. There are 20,000 marketing jobs. how many do you think get marketing jobs? Rest all do sales jobs, and the majority do sales jobs. So when you are basically imagining a management, you are imagining something which is like sitting in an office, signing papers and taking decisions. So that often does not happen even in a marketing job. Even in a marketing job, you have to basically be there in the market and do a tough one. However, in sales job, it is how you present. If you say I am a sales manager, your relatives and your friends will think good of you. If you say I am doing, मैं sales कर रही हूँ या मैं sales कर रहा हूँ, it will look so pathetic. It will look as if you are basically a salesman. You are not a salesman. You are managing a team which is doing sales. So that is how you have to present. So, and I will tell you my own story. My dad is a chartered accountant, was the chief finance manager of Bharat Steel Limited. My elder brother is a deputy general manager of finance in Reliance Industries Limited. But I am into sales, and I was always into sales. So I explained it to them that this is a good career. This career gives us stardom. How many people of my batch have become marketing directors? But I am a sales director. So in sales, it is more coveted. The people who went into marketing, they are competition. So and अगर अच्छा sales का बंदा है ना, उसको सब पुचकार के रखता है. People are very happy with them because they are very rare items to have in the market. People who can motivate people and can do good sales.
Absolutely, absolutely. With that, Devanan, the next question is, Sumit has asked a question where it says, what is the successful mantra for a brand manager to be successful with his brand? I mean, probably he has done it with your, thinking of your brand.
Okay. So for a brand manager, you have to begin. I have seen great brand managers, the ones who begin in consumer insights divisions. So there is something called consumer insights also in every organization, which deals with finding out, doing research, finding out what the consumer wants or whether my brand is working with the consumer. So that is equivalent of basically beginning with that rigmarole. So people who begin with consumer insights make great brand managers. If you jump straight into brand management, you might miss that element of consumer insights training. However, the big mantra for a brand manager is again sales, because you have to sell to me. So all my brand managers request for my time because I can make or break their careers because advertisement today does not sell. And you know why? Because if I don't have something available at the outlet, then it will not sell. So there have been many products which great ads, but the sales team did not support it. And they said, it's too difficult to sell. We will basically go with the other things. So you have seen many brands of mine, many brands of other companies, because again, the brand manager's major work is to convince the region heads, the sales managers, the regional sales managers to take up their brands and distribute it well. So that is the biggest job. And hence you would have noticed that it is said, and I am not saying it, you can ask anyone, a person who has not spent a couple of years in sales becomes a very, very bad brand manager.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
that person will always be derided by the sales people saying, खुद तो बेचा नहीं है, हमको बोल रहा है कि ऐसे बेच लो. And they are often basically, they end up in .coms, etc. and go and rotate around that place. But if you want to be in a great company, good brand manager, always begin in sales. Couple of years and then go into marketing.
Acha. I mean, that same thing comes with me also. I mean, I started my career as a salesperson, just to share with you, long time back in '89. The next question which because when I tell them, they don't, at times they don't believe. Sandeep has asked a question, Sandeep Singh, even a second year student, has asked a question, what additional skill sets do we require to be as successful in our career?
So read a lot and develop communication skills. So I confessed very clearly, I was born and brought up in Bihar, and I still have that Bihari tinge of voice in my accent. But whatever I can speak now, I have practiced a lot over many, many years. So, and this is what it has come to. I'm still not perfect. I know there are a lot of people who can speak much, much better than me, but speak in English. That will help you a lot. Anytime. So force yourself to speak in English. If you are a little poorer, take a BBC linguiphone class or something like that. I'm not sure what British Council does those courses. Maybe even your college offers those personality development. Do that. So these are the skills which you require, I think, very clearly.
Ankur Das again has asked a question. He's also a background of hotel management. He says, I feel scared to chase targets. The fear of failure and losing job. How can I overcome this?
So again, I missed telling you something. Do you think brand managers don't have a target? They have the target for their brands and they have no control over those targets. So they can only persuade the sales teams to get their targets for them, done for them. So this is a famous, basically, a famous problem which people feel. Students feel that brand managers won't have target. हम सिर्फ ad बनाएंगे. Again, remember, you are not the people who will be making the ads. Ads are made by people who have studied in Mudra Institute of Communication, Advertising and creative people. You are the ones who just coordinate between sales, insights, build a program for the marketing and achieve your targets for each and every brand. So a brand manager also has targets. So if you fear targets, and even an HR manager has targets, by the way, of attrition, of basically of fill time. So how many months you take to recruit people, which your sales people will like. So everyone has targets. If you have a fear of target, you are in the wrong profession. But again, to tell you clearly, if the target was non-achievable, you will not get that target. So if your boss keeps on making targets which you cannot achieve, then the boss has to be sacked, not you. So if a target is being given to you, believe in it, I think it will be achievable. So maybe a couple of times, as I said, sales target 12 महीना में 8 महीना achieve होता है, 4 महीना तो सबका fail होता है, मेरा भी होता है. So am I scared of that? 4 बार तो fail मैं भी हूँ. But if I succeed 8 times, I am okay. And the rest 4 times, you can always go back and tell your bosses that target बहुत ज़्यादा set हुआ था.
A very interesting question asked by one of the students of first year. He says, Siddhartha Shankar Pal. He says, sir, how to manage your boss? And can an introvert person sustain in today's market? Or is it better to become an extrovert as early as possible from now only?
My experiences, and I was quite an introvert, it's better to become an extrovert as quickly as possible. Volunteer, work with people whom you are not comfortable with, go on the stage and present. Force yourself to do this 100 times during the 2 years of your MBA, and you will get 100 opportunities, I'm very sure. Pinaki and his colleagues will give you 100 opportunities to present, volunteer. After these 100 opportunities, you will become an extrovert. And if you are unable to become an extrovert, MBA is not for you. I am very, very sure of that, because very difficult for introverts to survive nowadays with huge competition. Introverts generally निकल जाते हैं, रहते नहीं है. थोड़ा extrovert तो होना पड़ेगा. Maybe not basically not verbose, but extrovert, which means basically you should not have fear to approach anyone and talk to them. That is an extrovert. You need not keep talking all the time. The talkative person is not an extrovert, but you have to let go of this fear of approaching people and talking to them. And the second thing is basically for boss management, there are umpteen number of books which you teach you boss management, and I have a couple in my library. I also keep reading, and I'm still hunting for ways to manage boss better. Biggest tip is give positive feedback to your boss. If he does something good, he also needs positive feedback. Tell him, लोग सोचते तेल मार रहे हैं, तेल मारना सीख लीजिए अभी जिंदगी में, है ना? It is easy. For example, what did you see Pinaki sir doing with me, or JNM sir doing with me? They said, Dave is a great guy, है ना? He has a good mix, etc. And what did I say about JNM sir and Pinaki sir? I know them for ages. Thank you, sir. Did I neglect them just because basically I am an invited lecturer? You should not. There are sophisticated ways to basically give positive reinforcement to people, and if you do that, that's the single biggest trick of boss management, or any management for that matter. So for example, after the class, what prevents you from going to your teacher or even in the class telling your teacher, sir, I really enjoyed your class today, you taught this very well. क्यों नहीं बोलते हैं? बिकॉज बाकी सब बोलेंगे तेल मारती है या तेल मारता है, सीपी कर रहा है, डीसीपी कर रहा है, desperate class participation. Learn all of these things which you believed was bad in school days is amazing for a manager. Learn those. And if you do that a few times, your boss will be eating out of your hands. Don't worry. So this is the
well said. Well said. Well said. For the students again. Srishti,
Dr. Sarkar, I just want one thing to add.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Please carry on.
Yeah,
SSG, please carry on. Yes, sir. Please. Yes. We can hear you.
I just wanted to now.
Yes, you're there. You will ask a question.
Yeah. Can Dr. Sarkar?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you completely.
Yeah.
You're perfectly audible. Please.
Okay, I just wanted to tell you. I mean, to add on to what you said. Definitely, it's that how to manage the boss. Another thing that I just wanted to add is that whatever the boss tells you to do, try to achieve something little bit marginally higher than that. I think that's is a I find that I found, of course, in my industry days that worked a lot.
Yes.
Just to, some sort of
you have to be the ladder on which your boss can reach higher levels. So
Yes.
if you don't provide him the ladder, then you are not necessary.
absolutely.
Very difficult.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. But I just wanted to reiterate the easier bit, which is positive reinforcement. Everyone needs positive reinforcement, Pygmalion effect. That's easier to do. Achievement, of course, basically, achievers can basically rest happy. So if you are a topper in your class, you don't have to butter up any teacher.
Right.
But if you are not, then I am not saying it is bad to butter up. Call it positive reinforcement. Everyone needs that.
Okay. One more question. One of the students I want to ask you is, she says, Srishti Priya, she says, I would like to know what are the career opportunities for a fresher when we apply in this sort of FMCG sectors.
So in FMCG sector, the initial career opportunities are either marketing executive or sales executives. So that is the initial level of jobs, and after 1.5 years to 2 years, the person can become a brand manager or a area sales manager. And then, of course, basically they can zigzag across various functions, etc. There is no, but if a person begins in marketing, can never come into sales. If a person begins in sales, can always go into marketing. So I can go into marketing anytime I want. But if I was in marketing, it was too late for me to go into sales. So that's what I will leave. For example, in HR, if you are in administrative roles, you cannot go into industrial relations. If you are in industrial relations, you can always go into other administrative functions of HR, recruitment, comp and ben, or anything else, and you can also become a CHR or something. So that's my thing to you.
Last question to you from one of the students, Antara Sinha. She asks a question. She says, "What are the traits of a successful salesperson?" Very important question. Of course. What are the traits?
The biggest trait is the ones demonstrated by Colonel Saunders and McCrock, or basically, or Michael Jackson. They were a little shameless. So without shame, I would not say shameless, but without shame, without embarrassment. So a salesperson, or for that matter, any MBA, has to let go of the embarrassment. So if you are asked to stand on stage and present, and you know all your classmates will laugh at you, your professor will laugh at you, and if you can let go of that shame, that is, be without shame or without this feeling of embarrassment, you have it made for you in any role you want. आपको theater करना है, आप theater कर सकते हैं, आपको sales करना है, कर सकते हैं, anything. So this is what I have learned for ages, and remember, I have been, till date, I have actually delivered guest lectures at hundreds of these schools, including premier B schools, IIM Calcutta, XLRI, and many other B schools. So this is what I have learned. The success is if you can let go of the shame and embarrassment. Then you can approach a retailer and say कि आप मेरा माल खरीदेगा, अगर ना कर दिया तो ना कर दिया. Just imagine, basically I tell everyone, be without shame. This is my first year. If the retailer refuses you, then he is not refusing you. He is refusing the company and the product, not you. आप अगला 1 घंटा के बाद उसी दुकान में जाके मांगे कि एक चॉकलेट दीजिए, हाँ, he will say, हाँ मैडम और क्या चाहिए बताइए, है ना? So that means basically he is not rejecting you, he is rejecting the product. So be without shame, be without embarrassment, and that can be developed only if you go on stage during your MBA and keep presenting and keep volunteering.
Okay, I think Dr. Sarkar, probably it's so many questions been volleyed to you by the students. You have answered, taken them very into stride as they call it, as and when you the way you went through it. I think now it's a chance for our students to hear you, interact with you. It will be much more in the future once this situation improves, right? And I now request Professor Sanjeev Biswas, my colleague, is assistant professor in operations management, to deliver a vote of thanks to Dr. Sarkar.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks. I was really engrossed with your deliberations, Dr. Sarkar. Though I am from decision science area, but with my little bit of industry experience and sort of experience, I was really engrossed with your, deliberations, the way you preached, the way you started things by giving the example of mom story. You really set the tone, and with your things, I can make out few things which is useful for our students. One thing is that do not get divorced of reality. Even if you joined in any stream in business management, ultimate bottom line is the sales. If you do not generate enough sales opportunity for your organization, for your product, then whatever fancy thing you maybe dream of will not work unless you become a good salesman. So people, our students, most of them may have different things in their mind, but I am sure that after your deliberations, the way you spoke, the way you gave several instances, like don't be shameful, always try to convince, and even if you are getting rejections, it is not your rejections, it is your product's rejection. And it's a very important thing the students should keep there in mind, because many a times people get fail and people take it personally. Nothing is personal. It is about the approach that you have to put in, day out. And sometimes you fail, sometimes you get champion. And that reminded me a famous dialogue of Roger Federer, who is a very famous tennis player, lawn tennis player. He used to say that my job is to get the ball on the other side. I can just practice this thing only. I can only do that things, and I try to do that things effectively and efficiently day after day, month after month. That is my only job. Sometimes I win trophy, sometimes I get fail. So never be, so you have touched really, sir, awesome. You have touched some very important points with an examples, brand example, how people relate with brand, how it is the marketing manager, how their work is, and how it depends on sales, and what is the relationship. It's a total thorough lecture that you have given. Really, we are thankful to you, sir, for your wonderful deliberations. And as we always say that our students will definitely be following your advices or little bit of suggestions that you have made, invaluable advices that you have given through your deliberations. I am sure if they follow, they can really be beneficial in their life. And we are, on behalf of Calcutta Business School, on behalf of our director, sir, our board of governors, and all our faculty colleagues, I extend our warm welcome and our warm best wishes to you. And we always want to attend your session. As sir started the session with saying that we always want to listen to you more and more. And despite your busy schedule, I am sure that we will be able to hear you again and again. But overall, it's an amazing session, what I can say. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Devanand. Thank you. We'll meet, we'll discuss. Okay. We have, as you said, we're always there. Sanjeev has already told you, and hope it will be take care of the students also as well in the future. And we are very short in time, in that sense that we would like to meet each other very shortly, as and when things improve, as I told you. Right?
Of course. Thank you.
J N Sir is not well, so we will be there. Okay. Take care. Till then, bye.
Okay.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye.